Hey everybody, welcome to Pop Culture Philosophers. I'm Rockin Robbie Billups, and it's time for the weekly pop culture wrap-up. That's right everybody, thanks for checking out the video. This is the weekly pop culture wrap-up. It's the show where I go over the week's pop culture news, mostly comic books and movies. Let's get into some comic book news. Wildcats. More specifically, Wildcats by Warren Ellis, with artwork by Ramon Villalobos and Tamara Bonvillain. An excellent art team, a near perfect comic book writer. I'm a huge Warren Ellis fan, and I'm loving what he's doing right now in his reimagining of the Wildstorm universe of the comic book line, and it's about to wrap up. But it's going to continue in a 6-issue series written by Warren Ellis himself with artwork by Villalobos and Bonvillain, like I just said. I'm super stoked for this. I grew up a Wildcats fan back in the extreme days of the 90s, right? But I'm so stoked for this one because what Warren Ellis has been doing in the Wildstorm, which is telling a very grounded, hard-edged, cutting-edge sci-fi, just thriller, spy thriller. Real fun stuff, great action sequences. I'm so excited for this one. It's an excellent art team. They were together before on Border Town, before that book went away. That was a fantastic art team, for sure. Very excited to see what they're going to do with Warren Ellis. Crazy cool sci-fi concepts, big action explosion type stuff. I'm sold, I'm sold. Some Tom King drama about Batman. So Tom King is leaving Batman after issue number 85, which happens to be like, I think, the last issue of the year, something like that. So Tom King's run on Batman is ending earlier than we all expected, and apparently earlier than he wanted to. However, very quickly they announced a 12-issue miniseries, Batman Catwoman, written by Tom King, with artwork by Clay Mann, that's going to totally wrap up his story. So those last 15 issues that he was wanting to do, he's getting a 12-issue series. This is something like what they did with Grant Morrison when he relaunched Batman into Batman and Robin and then Batman Incorporated, right? And when the New 52 happened, they just kind of let him continue doing what he was doing, tell his story. So I'm really excited that Tom King is going to be able to finish his big Batman story. I've been liking it. It's had its ups, it's had its down, but it's had some of the absolute best comic books of the last couple years have been in that Batman run. Of course, not everything was pitch perfect, but I'm enjoying it. I like that he's doing something different. I like his approach to Bruce Wayne. I like his storytelling. It's very lyrical to me, and I really dig it. So I'm very excited to see that he's going to get to finish that run. And it's also really cool because now we all get to speculate on who we think the next Batman team is going to be. Who would you like to see? A lot of rumors say maybe Warren Ellis, Brian Michael Bendis. I don't know. Who would you like to see write Batman? Let me know in the comments down below. And which artist would you like to see? Over at Marvel in August, we got Gwenpool returning. Gwenpool Strikes Back, a 5-issue miniseries written by Leah Williams with artwork by David Baldion. I never read the previous Gwenpool series, but in the recent West Coast Avengers, I have just fallen in love with that character. So I actually want to go back and read that stuff. I think it's Hastings, Christopher Hastings, and Guri Hiru, who I'm currently doing some artwork on Unstoppable Wasp. Really like the artwork there. Thinking about checking it out. Might check this one out because in West Coast Avengers, Gwenpool was just awesome. But that's coming out in August. Conan has a one-shot coming out in August. It's called Exodus. It's going to be basically his first journey out of Samaria, right? So it's going to be like Conan Year One in a way. Isad Ribic is going to be the writer and the artist on that. His art is very detailed. It's got nice texture to it. It's got sometimes very beautiful, elegant coloring attached to it. So, fantasy fans, this is totally the type of artist you want to be doing this type of story. Also in August, we have a lot of Absolute Carnage tie-ins. So Absolute Carnage itself, I think, is going to be like 6 issues or something like that. First 2 come out in August. The first one's going to be $7.99, but it does have apparently 60 story pages by Donny Cates and Ryan Stegman, and there are a whole slew of tie-ins for this one. There's Lethal Protector, Scream, Separation Anxiety, Avengers, Miles Morales versus Deadpool, Symbiote Spider-Man, Immortal Hulk, Ghost Rider, Symbiote of Vengeance. A whole slew of them, tie-ins, and Amazing Spider-Man and Venom as well. But this is a really cool event, and I'm kind of excited for it. And if you notice, a lot of those titles are callbacks to previous Venom miniseries, and that means, yes, Scream has her own series. All the other symbiotes are going to be reappearing. Those Lethal Protector symbiotes are going to be reappearing in Separation Anxiety. That's kind of exciting for me. I'm kind of cool with that. I'm kind of cool with that. Some Vault Comics news. Necromancers Map is a book debuting in August. It is the second volume of the Songs for the Dead. I really like that book. It's a nice, fun fantasy. Great characters. Very slick, clean, very efficient artwork. Really liked it. Written by Michael Christopher Herron and Andrea Fort with artwork by Sam Beck. So the exact same creative team of Songs for the Dead come into the sequel, Necromancer's Map. Speaking of Vault sequels, Vagrant Queen has been announced to return at some point this fall. Of course, they just announced that Vagrant Queen is got a TV show in development at Sci-Fi Channel, so a lot of people very excited for this, including me, and they are bringing the comic book back. I'm pretty sure Mags Visaggio is going to continue to write it, obviously, and I would anticipate Jason Smith returning as the artist, but no official announcement that I'm aware of has been made about that, but that's super cool. Also from Boom Studios, Buffy, Chosen Ones, a one-shot coming out in August that's going to tell little short stories about some of the previous Slayers. It's going to be really cool to see a new spin on some of these classic tales that we may or may not be familiar with in this new Buffy mythology. Really excited for that one. Movie, TV stuff, let's see. The Picard trailer. Star Trek Picard coming out this fall. I believe it's November, but definitely this fall at some time. Captain Picard, formerly, I guess now an admiral, right? The trailer was out. It's very just thin. There's not much to it. A little bit of a tease into the story. I am so super pumped for this one. I'm a huge Star Trek nerd, and especially when it comes to TNG, and especially when it comes to Jean-Luc Picard. I'm down for this. I think it's great. I love the throwbacks to what we know, like when he retires eventually, according to All Good Things, the final episode of TNG, he goes off and runs a vineyard, right? And so we see that in the trailer. Sounds like Gina Torres' voice, like they're asking him what caused him to leave Starfleet. Now they're going to have him back for something. Really excited for this one. So be on the lookout for that one. CBS All Access later this year. The Terminator Dark Fate. That trailer came out. So the big thing about this one is the return of James Cameron as a producer and the return of Linda Hamilton as Sarah Connor. And of course, Arnold Schwarzenegger is in there as the beloved Terminator. The trailer's actually not that bad. It's got a nice tone to it. Shows a bunch of flashy action. That's what you expect. But the Sarah Connor bit, especially the beginning of that trailer, was so BA. It was pretty awesome. I don't know. I'm not saying I'm quite sold on this movie. I still haven't seen the last Terminator movie. I don't think I'm going to have to. It's how the last few Terminator movies have kind of been. You really just need 1 and 2. It's like every other Terminator movie is an attempt to like reignite that franchise. Maybe it's just time to reboot the whole thing. I don't know. But the trailer didn't look that bad. It had a nice little tone to it. There's a new Once Upon a Time in Hollywood trailer. The new movie from Quentin Tarantino coming out this year. The second trailer, as opposed to the first little teaser, definitely shows you more about what the movie's about. An actor who was big at one time, down on his luck, and now in this downward spiral of just losing it, apparently winds up living next to Charles Manson and the Manson family and all that stuff, and gets tied up in all that. So it seems like the story's a little bit more clear. It looks like it's going to be cool, have some cool performances. What would you expect? Anything less from Quentin Tarantino? So that's pretty cool. And Akira, it's officially announced Akira is a go. They're making a live-action Akira movie set to debut in 2021. And the director is none other than Taika Waititi, the director of Thor Ragnarok. So, pretty cool. I'm only familiar with his work as far as Ragnarok goes. Now, I hear that there's other stuff that people are like, there's something about In the Dark or something. I don't remember that exactly, but I hear that's really good, right? Judging from Thor Ragnarok, it would seem weird because of its comedic tone that this cat would be doing Akira. But if you look at the visual tone, I think there could be something there. And I also hear that he's capable of more than just goofy, right? So I'm excited. Obviously, the studio sees something there. Seems like a visionary director. Voice, Akira. Could it be an unmakeable movie? Maybe, maybe not. We shall see, and I'm excited to find out. So that's what we got for you this week. Coming up here at PCP, the live stream tonight, so be on the lookout, 7 o'clock U.S. Central Time. We'll be going live talking about this upcoming week's comic books, some exciting releases coming up this week. So we're going to be talking about that, movies, pop culture, and a whole lot more tonight at 7 o'clock, and a little bit of show and tell. Also this week, the weekly comic book review, as usual, a Wasted Space advanced review, a Test advanced review, and maybe some other fun little surprises here and there. Thank you guys so much for checking out the video. Let me know any comments, anything you want to talk about in the comments down below or tonight on the live stream. Please do like, share, and subscribe if you haven't already, and join us over at popculturephilosophers.com for podcasts. and a whole lot more. I've been Rockin Robbie Billups. Thanks for rocking with us. Keep on living.